So this is from Taste of Home magazine, and we have, and we're going to be making slow-cooked Caribbean pot roast. Which is it?
What
One or the other. You pick.
Caribbean.
Okay.
I think in the Caribbean they say Caribbean.
Caribbean.
Well,
All
what
right.
do they put in? Tomato or tomato sauce?
Okay, well, you know what? We can ask Jen Tidwell because she is on the phone and on Skype, and there she is, and she joins us from Fair Oaks, California, and this is her recipe. So, Jen, how did you come up with this recipe?
Well, you know, I'm a huge fan of taking classic dishes and just kind of putting my own spin on it to suit my family's taste buds. I have a little girl I cook for, a couple girls, but one's a baby, so she's not quite there yet. But we like to, what I call, travel through our taste buds. And so, for example, with this dish, we traveled to the Caribbean.
It's Caribbean. There it is.
There it is.
Not Caribbean. It's
All right,
Caribbean.
Caribbean.
Okay.
All right.
I was waiting for
As
it.
Mark said, tomato.
But now, Jen, you also chose to use chuck roast as the meat, and why did you do that?
You know, it's usually not too expensive of a cut of meat, and it's just easy to work with. It breaks down real well.
Yeah.
I also really like using a cast iron skillet. When you use that, it gives a really nice crust on the meat that actually seals in all those flavorful juices.
Good, and the longer it cooks, the tenderer. Is tenderer a word? Yeah, it gets. Well, this is basically a very simple recipe that looks like a lot of ingredients there, but it's basically a dump recipe. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with our sweet potatoes and carrots and some celery. That's very.
That's all you do.
Yeah, that's all you do. Right. So in a large
Haley's
skillet.
like, I got it so far.
We don't
Big
have.
thing, dump.
We don't have our large cast iron skillet here today, but we got a nice brown sear on it. But you're right, a cast iron skillet is perfect for this. This is 2.5 pounds, and we put a little bit of oil in it, and we browned it on all sides. And we're going to just add this beef right into the slow cooker, and then we are going to take our. I'm going to add just a tiny bit more olive oil here. And then we're going to put our onions. We're going to brown the onions with the garlic. Okay, this gives it a lovely flavor. And then you're going to let it sweat for about 5 to 8 minutes, right, to let all the natural juices come out, right, Jen?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so we're going to cook that down, and of course we don't have 5 or 8 minutes to do that, so this is it when it's done. So we have this already brown. Now, where do we go from here? Do we start combining everything with the flour right now?
Yeah, you just want to simply go ahead and combine all of the dry ingredients, so the herbs and the spices, the flour, the cocoa.
Oh, there's cocoa in here. All right, so what we have basically here is some flour, some brown sugar, and then we have cumin and some salt, coriander.
Nice warm spices. They're kind of traditional in island dishes.
Oh, I can smell it. Then there's chili powder, and then we have oregano, and now I see we put a little bit of cinnamon. Is that like a little bit of a Caribbean feel? Yeah. And then we have cocoa. Where does the cocoa come from?
It's just another staple ingredient in that type of cooking. It just kind of gives it just an oomph. That and the tomato, of course, all the spices combined. So
we're bringing in right now for everybody, Jen. We're bringing in some of the roast right now, and we paired it with your Brussels sprouts. I'm putting some fresh orange peel in here. What's with the orange peel? Because it smells good. What is that for?
Well, you know, I'm a big fan again of just using citrus. I think it just really gives any dish a nice pop. I would also suggest maybe. You can you put the orange zest in the dish itself, but you could always maybe do a little extra zest on top of each portion for an extra pop.
Okay, so
Jen, this is so tender. This is ridiculous.
Oh my goodness!
I'm so excited. You guys are eating my food.
We're gonna
and enjoying it.
Wow. We're putting the. Did you taste the Brussels sprouts? Because I'm dying to taste those. Oh my gosh!
And the sweet potatoes and carrot thing is delicious. Really good.
And then I put the tomato sauce. I suppose that's not like tomato sauce. It's just tomatoes in a can, or is it?
It's tomato sauce in a can.
It's tomato sauce in a can. Okay. So then what we're going to do, I put the onions and the garlic mixture in here. I'm pouring that over the meat like this. And then
slather
and slathering. And then you just put the lid on and set it for about 6 to 8. How long do you cook it? Because it says here 6 to 8 hours. How long did you cook it for?
Well, depending if you have your slow cooker or your crock pot set on low or high is going to vary whether you're going to do 6 or 8 hours.
Oh my gosh, is there anything in here? No. Okay. Let me see. I'm going to remove this book so everybody can see this. This is. Can we get an overhead shot of this, anyone, or not? No? Okay, I'm going to just take this out because
there it is overhead.
Oh, that looks. Oh, let me put this on this plate. Oh
You're
my
all quiet
goodness,
down
look at
there.
that. Ooh.
There better be some food going
that.
in
That's
some
what
mouths.
I'm saying.
Oh.
Quiet, right?
Here, let me get a little bit. Let me get the knife. That looks unbelievable. Oh, man, my mouth is one. Ooh, look at the knife I got.
So good.
Look at that. Oh, look how tender.
moist.
Oh,
That's so. It's
Joyce,
so joyous.
look, it just, and you can take it. Look at that and do that. Oh.
I could eat that whole thing.
Cut it with a spoon.
I could.
Oh, so okay, I'm gonna go in.
I
I'm
could.
going in.
What is the secret to the? Is there a secret behind the Brussels sprouts? Because these are delicious. I love Brussels sprouts.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. People either, like you just said, Mark, you love them. People either love them or hate them.
Yeah.
I really like to slice them in half and be sure that you set them cut side down into the skillet and leave them be. And they'll get that nice caramelization and crust. And that really kind of aids to making a delicious Brussels sprout. And of course, everything's better with butter.
Now, do you have, because you get some families that within the family they don't like the Brussels sprouts. Some do. Do your whole family sit down and eat those?
My 7-year-old loves them. Kyle, the little girl right there, the little flower girl, she actually.
Oh,
What
look
a
how
beautiful
cute.
family. Look at that.
Thank
Oh
you.
my gosh. And do you do any substitutions for this? Can you use another meat or can you use fish with this?
You know, you could use whatever you prefer. You know, you could take it in different directions. Maybe do like a mushroom medley with peas, or maybe even I like doing butternut squash and green beans.